Hello and welcome to the second BWF1 podcast of 2025. In this podcast, we'll talk about the upcoming opening round in Australia and we will also share our race and qualifying predictions.
Kicking things off, we will start with the race predictions.
Let's get into it now. P20, Lance.
B20, Esteban Ocon, DNF.
I think he's just going to have a bad year and it's starting off in the worst way possible. I think
Yeah,
he's going to be the worst he ever has been. And I don't trust him, especially when the Aston doesn't particularly seem like a good car.
yeah. I think Ocon just gets taken out by a rookie.
By someone.
Yeah, that's not really his fault.
Yeah.
Or maybe McCannell. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah. P19, Isaac Hadjar, first race ever, not in a particularly good car. I think he's just gonna try and go out there and keep it on the track.
Yeah. I have Lance, kind of for the same reason that you do,
Yeah.
in that it's just not his year this year.
No. P18, I've got another rookie, probably probably the best rookie on the grid in my opinion, Gabriel Bortoleto. Sauber is just horrible by the looks of it. Um, and I don't think he'll be doing anything major in his first race.
No, my P18, I've got Isaac Hadjar. I think this year's just getting used to the car. I think that's for all the rookies, maybe not so for
Ollie Behrman.
Ollie Behrman and Liam Lawson because they've had their couple of races to understand how it is, if you want to say that.
Yeah.
So they've had their chance.
Yeah. P17, I've got the other Sauber, Nico Hulkenberg. I just think they're the worst car on the grid by quite a margin. And I don't think, because it is also is his first race at the team,
Yeah.
I think he might struggle to adapt a bit with this new car because it's probably going to be quite different from the Haas that he drove last year.
Yeah. My P17, I've got Signs.
Pretty low.
Pretty low. I reckon the car is just going to be the thing that fails him. Everyone's kind of talking up the Williams, saying that they're going to have a somewhat decent season.
Yeah.
I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
fair enough.
From testing, it kind of showed that they do have a decent enough car to be in the top-ish midfield, but I don't reckon they can actually, in a race, keep it.
Yeah. P16, I've got Yuki. I think the RB is not good at all, to be honest. I think it's just gonna be a decent race, nothing special, just there.
Yeah. My P16, I've got Albon. Same reason the Signs, just
Car's not gonna be great.
the car in testing over one lap
is
good. So I reckon they'll probably qualify decent enough. But I think that
the race pace is
the race pace, even if they have a car over one lap, they can't put that back to back to back to back. Like just keep it.
Yeah, speaking of the Williams, I've got Sainz in 15. It's a very different style of driving that he's used to. I mean, McLaren in 2020 and 21, no, sorry, 19 and 20, he was like top of the midfield, like bottom of the leaders, and then obviously Ferrari, like top basically.
Yeah.
It's going to be a big change for him.
A big leap down.
Yeah, big leap down. But yeah, I think he's just gonna steady things through the first race.
Yeah. My P15, I have Gabriel Bortoleto. I reckon Sauber is definitely not gonna be good this year, especially given it's the last season of Sauber being Sauber in kick. But I think they're just gonna try and see what works in Audi if Audi want them to do that.
Yeah.
Audi just might want to do their own thing.
Mm.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, P14 and 13. I've got the Haas pair with Ollie Bam and getting ahead just because he's already raced there. He's more implanted in the team than Ocon, in my opinion.
Yeah. My P14, I've Gabriel Bortoledo's teammate in Nico Hulkenberg. My P13 is Yuki Tsunoda. I think the RB car this year is just going to be all right. It's definitely going to be in the midfield of the midfield.
Midfield of the midfield. P12 now. This is a lot higher than what most people would have him, except for you.
Yeah.
P12, Jack Doohan. I can't lie, it's just Aussie bias. That's all it is. Yeah.
My P12, I've Fernando Alonso. I reckon he's gonna push the Aston Martin to its absolute limits this year.
Yeah.
I reckon he will DNF a lot this year.
Yeah.
I probably won't predict it a lot this year because I think I will forget about saying this. But I think he'll be a lot of DNFs and it won't really be what he's after.
Yeah. On the topic of Fernando Alonso, I've got him P11. I think he's just gonna be trying to push this car all the way. Like he knows that they're focused on 26 and he knows that 26 is his year. And I think if he just pushes all the way this year, that could gain him some confidence going into next year and giving him a real shot at winning the WDC.
Yeah. My P11, I've got Oliver Behrman just out of the points. I think he's just gonna be all right this year. Yeah. As with most of the rookies, just learning his way around the car and the team, which he's already done. He's already done 2 races. Yeah. But focusing a bit more on that. Yeah. This year than last year.
P10, I've got the first Merc of Kimi Antonelli. He's just gonna be alright. He's not gonna be pushing. He's definitely not gonna be pushing all the way. I think if he was, he could probably get up to P8 maybe, but I don't think he will be pushing all the way just to have that 58 laps in his name to really experience what it is being in F1.
Yeah. My P10, I have his other rookie rival friend in Jack Doohan. Kind of same as you, Aussie biased. I just hope he has a decent year in the way if he doesn't get kicked out.
Yeah.
Or lose his seat.
I reckon if he doesn't outperform Gasly, he will lose his seat.
If Gasly outperforms him by a lot.
Yeah.
I think if Gasly outperforms him by not that much,
if he scores, if he gets 2 P10s before the 6th race deadline, which is what people are saying, I think he'll keep his seat.
Yeah.
Anyway, P9, Alex Albon starting off the year with amazingly. He's been good around Albert Park in recent years. Having a P10 in 2, I think it was.
Yeah.
With the worst worst car ever.
I mean, Logan gave him his car last year. And he did terribly.
Yeah.
So let's not count that out. Anyway. My P9, Pierre Gasly. Hopefully this is him coming back into being decently up there.
I reckon he's the 3rd best driver on the grid, only behind Leclerc, Verstappen, only behind those 2. Like he's the 3rd best driver on the grid.
Hamilton?
No. Hamilton's washed.
Hey! Are you nuts? No. Are you nuts, fam? Are you tapped in the head? No. Are you tapped in the head?
No.
3rd best driver. Okay. Hey, Jeff.
That's Hamilton is washed. Mate, if he was still a Mercedes, you would not be talking about him the way you do.
I don't care.
He's not good now.
Are we talking about now?
Yes, now. Not all time.
So,
No.
you're saying George is worse than him.
Yeah.
You're saying, Oscar's better than him.
No, Oscar's better than Oscar's like similar to Pierre.
So,
Oscar, Pierre, and Lando, all three, they're all like the three same for me. Because I believe if like Gasly was in a top tier team, he would be fine for a championship.
yeah, but he's not.
If he was in a Ferrari, he would be like closer to Leclerc than what Hamilton is to Leclerc.
What? He is not. He is not.
Well, that's not his fault. Alpine stuff.
All right,
Who's your
That's
PA?
going to be the title. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
My PA, I have Kimmy.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he just does well. He needs to have. I think they all need to do it this year. All the rookies, they need to all do decent enough.
Yeah. P7, this is probably the most controversial, other than what we were just talking about. It's Hamilton P7.
You're crazy. And I don't care. I'm giving away both of our P1s. You have Leclerc. We both have him. We both have our P7 as Hamilton. But you have Leclerc first. I don't care about giving away. You have Leclerc first,
Yeah.
and you have Hamilton seventh.
It's his first race at Ferrari. It's his first race at Ferrari. He's 40 years old, and Leclerc is arguably 10 times better than him.
Now, let's get that
now, bro. All-time Hamilton second best.
Really?
Yes, really.
Your P7, P6, I mean.
Lawson, I think it'll be good, not great, like still a very good performance. I hope he does well because he is Kiwi. We're Aussie, so we're basically the same.
We hate Kiwis, man.
I love Kiwis.
Oh.
Mate, their accents are so funny.
Hey, what was the case, thing?
Bro, why are you disagreeing with everything I say?
Oh, I'm in that type of mood. I have Liam Lawson's teammate, Max Verstappen, with Liam Lawson ahead of him in P5.
Wow. Lawson ahead of Verstappen.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
That's more insane than me having Pierre over Hamilton. My P5 is Lando. I just think it's going to be a good race. I don't think the McLaren car will suit the track perfectly as what it does to other tracks, but it'll still be a good race to start the season off.
Yeah. My P4, or both of our P4s, George Russell.
I think he's gonna definitely take a step up as this team leader this year. I think he's gonna be a lot better than what people
He's no
think.
longer in the backseat of the team's mind.
No. I think he might finish P4 in the championship probably, like only behind Max, Charles, Oscar, and Land. Oh, that's it. That's probably where I put him, to be honest. Anyway, I think he'll have a good year and a good race to start things off. And from what was his 22 campaign, you know how consistent he can be.
My P3. Oh no. My P3 is Lando.
Yeah.
I reckon it's gonna just give it away. With his teammate Oscar, P2. I reckon it's Senna Prost this year. I hope it's Senna Prost this year.
No, imagine the scenes.
Oh,
Senna Prost.
Absolute cinema.
Absolute cinema, you reckon?
And with Oscar just signing, like literally 12 hours ago,
signing a
new contract extension
until what was it, 20?
Oh, they didn't say.
Oh, they didn't.
But still,
probably 28.
He probably has a longer contract compared to Lando.
Yeah.
And they're probably prepared to drop Lando.
And Oscar's got a killer mentality. He's got that
No, he
Kimi.
doesn't.
He's got a Kimi Räikkönen mentality.
Blah.
Lando's too actively social.
He's too cat.
He's too Gen Z.
What's your P2?
P3 to round up to start the podium is Max. I think he's gonna beat all expectations this year. As I said last week in the podcast, I think he's gonna get the championship. You can't doubt him. I can't not back him. P2, I've also got Oscar. I think he's gonna have a good race. First Aussie to ever get a podium. I know Ricardo stood on it, but he didn't. He got disqualified later in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then obviously you spoiled the P1s, both having Charles
and Oscar and Peter and Oscar, both first.
Yeah.
Quality predictions after the Will Noonans to do his rapid fire.
Alright. Q1 exits are Gabriel Bortoleto, Isaac Hadjar, Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, and Yuki Tsunoda. Moving on to Q2, we've got Nico, Jack Doohan, Alonso, Oliver Behrman, and Kimi Antonelli all falling there. P3 now is Carlos, Albon, Hamilton, Pierre, Lawson, Russell, Verstappen, Lando, Oscar, and Charles Leclerc takes pole and the win.
Very good. That's all we have to say on today's podcast. Trust me, in China, it will be longer because we don't really have anything to talk about what races there is.
Yeah.
It will be longer, trust me. And we will actually be going to the GP in Australia because we live in Australia, as you can't tell by the Australian bias, on Thursdays, which is Supercars and Porsche Cup only. So you'll see some of that content. And then on Saturday, we'll upload a video
of the quali highlights because we're also going on Saturday. But not Sunday, unfortunately. But we'll make sure to show what it's like to be at the Odds GP for those who can't get there.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to this week's podcast. We'll talk to you again next week in China. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and goodbye.